in your churches. This information that I'm about to give you, you won't hear in that church down the street. Mind you, you got 3 churches right there and one behind me. What they not telling you, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, you're actually the children of Israel. That because of your forefathers' disobedience, this is where you at right now. See, this place right here, this is not your homeland. This is your captivity. This right now, this 4th of July, this is all a lie. This ain't your independence. It was never your independence. Because while they drafted that Constitution, you was considered 3/5 of a man. So why you out here celebrating they holy days? All those holy so-called holidays, they all pagan, every last one of them. From Christmas on down. When you check out the history and the research, you find out that Christmas was a pagan Roman holiday. They were homosexuals. They were all homosexuals, the Romans. They practiced homosexuality. So why in these churches, on these so-called holidays, they got a tree when in Jeremiah say you're not supposed to have a tree? And every last holiday in this country is a direct slap in the face against the laws, statutes, and commandments against the Most High God of Israel. It's all a lie. Every last holiday is a lie. But yet, who do they depend on to spend the most money? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Jamaicans. All you children, you are the children of Israel. And it's coming down to it where we are starting to find out our true identity as a people. See, during slavery, if you could read, they would cut your tongue out. They would chop your foot off. It's a reason why, because they didn't want to give this information. They didn't want it to pass through. So now that we're in a situation now where we're in the last days, you're going to get your heritage back, but 2/3 of you ain't going to make it because of your disbelief and not believing in the Most High, not understanding that you're more than what you think you are. See, you ever realize that with the black folks, no matter what you do, everybody is always imitating you, whether it's the clothing, the music, everything about you, the whole world emulates. That's because the Most High put a spirit on you, and they know, but you don't know. You don't know that you're actually the rulers of this next world. When Christ come back, you're going to be the governors, the 144,000 that's going to rule with Christ. But right now, you're not showing that. See, if you go all the way over past truths, see, they living in their kingdom. You spend half your paycheck on 4th of July, fireworks, and you blow them up all on the 4th, and you broke. That don't make sense. They don't care. They made their money. See, the Most High called them heathens. All the other nations, they're considered heathens because they didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the children of the Most High. See, they was into paganism. They was into idol worship. They was into homosexuality. They was into everything, but you know what? We started to listen to them. And that's why we fell from the covenant. That's why we're in the situation that we're in now. To see, the pastors are not telling you that you so-called Negroes are from the tribe of Judah, the same tribe as Christ. When you look in the Bible, it tells you that. It tells you that Christ was a Negro. It says that he had hair of wool, skin of bronze if it was burned in the furnace. Now, if you take anything and burn it in the furnace, it's going to come out black. That'll let you know that this image right here, this image right here is fake. This image right here is Caesar Borgia. The real image of Christ would have looked something like this. Now, we're not supposed to make any images, But it will let you know, give you a little description of what Christ would have looked like. He was a dark-skinned man with hair of wool. He wasn't a Caucasian man. And that's not racism. It's the truth. I'm going to read in Revelations what Christ looked like. Revelations 1:13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girt about the paps with a girding girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet were like unto fine brass if it was burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Now if you take brass and you burn it again, it's going to be the color of a Heisman Trophy. That lets you know that Christ was a dark-skinned man. So if Christ come out the line of Judah, then his people was black. So if his people was black, where are they at? The ancient Israelites, which come out the tribe of Judah, they were cursed. See, the Most High put a curse on them because after they left Egypt, they continued to backslide. And the Most High kept forgiving them, and finally he just said, to hell with it. And he cursed them. And one of the curses was that they would be brought over into a strange land in cargo ships. Cargo ships. Who was brought over anywhere in cargo ships? That's you, the so-called Negroes. You were brought over into a strange land by cargo slave ships and sold it to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, which is basically a slave man and a slave woman. So that lets you know, according to the curses, that God's people were cursed. It didn't have anything to do with their color, because everybody back then was black just like they now. The majority of the world is made of brown-skinned people, dark-skinned people. But they want you to believe that you're a minority. That don't even make sense. If almost the whole world is black, how you gonna be a minority? You the majority. Hell, they're a minority. The scriptures, it says that Christ was a black man and he's coming back. And he ain't coming back with flowers in his hand. He's coming back to subdue the nations. You think Prince Charles and his little kids, they're gonna just let Christ come without putting up a fight? Christ is coming back and he's gonna take down all the kingdoms. And this kingdom right here, so-called America, is set for destruction. It ain't gonna be by the Most High. It's gonna be by all those other nations that hate America. That hate America for the lies. What they did to the North American Indians. They put smallpox in their blankets and wiped out millions of them, just like 99 million of Negroes died on the way here to the Americas. But they want you to forget that. Yeah, oh, you know, it don't matter what color you are. Hell, you don't even know who the hell you are. Tell that to somebody else who's gonna buy that. It's all a bunch of lies. America, aka Babylon, is set for destruction by all the other nations like China, like North Korea, like Venezuela, Iraq, Iran, all those nations. They're going to destroy this land because of all the wickedness. They give you a line every year. They put up a puppet politician to subdue you and to feed you a bunch of garbage. And ain't nothing changed. Nothing. The same thing over and over and over again. They give you some old rinky-dink politician to calm your spirit. When really, the nation of Israel, they didn't play. When the Most High was with the nation of Israel, we would go into town and wreak havoc. Because they was evil. The same way the Most High sent the nation of Israel against the Philistines and all those other nations that was heathens, that didn't worship and reverence the Most High God of Israel. You ain't African. You ain't African. Just because you black don't mean that you some African booty scratcher. That's like saying that all white people are from Scandinavia. That's madness.